The stars glittered like scattered diamonds against the endless black of space. Captain Trell stood on the bridge of the Harmony Asterisk, his four-fingered hands clasped behind his back. His pale blue skin reflected the soft glow of the control panels around him. "Captain, we're picking up signals from the uncharted system ahead," said Officer Kiv, her large eyes blinking rapidly as she studied her screen. Trell moved closer. "What kind of signals?" "Artificial, sir. Definitely not natural. They appear to be communication transmissions, but in no language our systems recognize. For centuries, the Brill had explored the stars, meeting many species along the way. Their kind believed in peace above all else. War was a concept they understood, but rarely practiced. Their sleek ships carried minimal defensive systems, as they had found most species welcomed friendly contact." "Excellent," said Trell, his thin lips forming what his species considered a smile. "Plot a course. Let's introduce ourselves." The Harmony Asterisk glided through space, its engines barely making the sound. The ship was a marvel of Brill engineering, beautiful, efficient, and non-threatening in design. As they entered the system, they detected more signals. "Captain, there's a vessel at the edge of the system," reported Officer Kiv. "It's unlike anything in our database." On the main screen appeared an image that made the bridge crew pause. The unknown ship had none of the flowing, elegant lines of Brill vessels. Instead, it was angular, with obvious weapon ports along its hull. It was smaller than the Harmony Asterisk, but somehow looked more solid. "Scan it," ordered Trell. "Let's learn what we can before we make contact." Officer Mole activated the ship's scanners, sending out harmless waves of energy to analyze the vessel. "Sir, their power readings are confusing. They're generating far more energy than a ship that size should need for propulsion alone." Suddenly, alarms blared across the bridge. "They're activating something," shouted Mole. Multiple systems coming online. The unknown ship had turned directly toward them, weapon ports glowing with energy. "Send friendly signals on all frequencies," ordered Trell, remaining calm. "Make it clear we mean no harm." Before they could complete the transmission, the alien ship fired, not directly at them, but close enough that the energy discharge rocked the Harmony Asterisk. "Warning shot," gasped Kiv. "They think we're hostile." Trell realized their mistake. The scan, while standard procedure for the Brill, must have seemed like an aggressive act to this unknown species. "Pull back. Disengage scanners. Send peace signals only," he commanded. The human ship, though the Brill didn't yet know them as humans, fired again, this time deploying what appeared to be small, fast-moving objects that surrounded their vessel. "Sir, they've launched devices that are mapping our ship. They're scanning us now, but much more intensely than our scan of them." The bridge crew watched in shock as data about their ship was stripped away by the human scanning technology. Information about their shields, propulsion, even life support systems. "They've breached our information security in seconds," whispered Mole. "How is that possible?" "Our systems are state-of-the-art." Trell made a quick decision. "Retreat, full speed. We need to report this to the Council." As the Harmony Asterisk turned away, the human vessel made no move to follow but continued its scans until they were out of range. In his quarters later, Trell reviewed what little they had learned. This species, whoever they were, reacted to perceived threats with immediate overwhelming force. Their technology, especially their military systems, seemed advanced beyond what the Brill had expected to find in this sector. Most troubling of all, the brief scan they had managed suggested these beings had equipped even their exploration vessels with weapons that could easily outmatch the Brill's finest defensive ships. Trell composed his report for the military council with a sense of unease. For the first time in his long career, he included a recommendation that went against all Brill tradition. Approach with caution. These beings were different. They were ready for war even when exploring in peace. He didn't know it yet, but he had just encountered humans, and nothing in Brill history had prepared them for what that meant. The military council chamber had not been used in over 40 cycles. Dust covered the large round table at its center. The 8 seats arranged around it looked stiff and uncomfortable, a reminder that military matters were not meant to be discussed in comfort. Admiral Mav, the highest military official of the Brill, entered the chamber with a grim expression. His uniform, rarely worn, felt tight around his neck. Behind him followed 7 other officials, each representing a different colony world. "This meeting of the Military Council is now in session," announced Mav, his deep voice echoing in the chamber. "We gather today to discuss the report from Captain Trell of the exploration vessel Harmony *. The central display activated, showing images of the human ship they had encountered. "As you can see," continued Mav, pointing to the angular vessel, "this ship belongs to a species we now know calls themselves humans. They are new to space travel by our standards, having achieved faster-than-light capability only 300 cycles ago." One of the council members, General Pix from the outer colonies, leaned forward. "If they are so new to space, why should we worry? Their technology must be primitive compared to ours." Mav touched a control, and the display showed a detailed scan of the human vessel. "That's just it. Their technology is not primitive. In fact, in some areas, particularly weapons technology, they may be ahead of us." Mav highlighted several areas of the ship. "These are weapon ports. The Harmony scan detected energy readings far beyond what our defensive ships carry." A murmur ran through the council members. "How is this possible?" asked another member. "We have been peaceful explorers for thousands of cycles. How could they develop such weapons in a fraction of that time?" Mav's expression darkened. "Our scouts have returned with troubling information. These humans have fought wars among themselves for their entire recorded history. Their technological advancement has been driven by conflict." The display changed to show images of human history that the scouts had gathered, pictures of battles, weapons, and war machines from different periods of Earth's past. "While we were perfecting art and philosophy, they were perfecting ways to defeat enemies," explained Mav. "When we developed shields to protect from space debris, they developed weapons that could penetrate shields." General Pix stood up angrily. "Are you suggesting we should fear these humans? That we should abandon our peaceful ways?" Mav shook his head. "No, I am suggesting we should understand them before we approach again." The Harmony was lucky. Their scan was interpreted as an aggressive act, and the humans responded with a warning. "Next time, we might not be so fortunate." The council chamber fell silent as the members considered this. "What do you propose, Admiral?" asked the eldest member, her voice soft but firm. "I propose we send a proper delegation, with military escort, to establish formal contact. But first, we need more information." Mav brought up a new image showing a star map. "We have detected increased human activity in this sector. Our intelligence suggests they are expanding their territory." "We have never needed military escorts before," objected Pix. "We have never met a species like humans before," countered Mav. "A species that builds warships as a matter of course, that reacts to unknown situations with military precision." After hours of debate, the council finally agreed. They would send scouts to gather more intelligence before any official contact, and they would prepare a delegation with proper protection. As the meeting ended, Mav remained in the chamber alone, studying the images of the human ship. Something about it troubled him deeply. The Brill had always believed that advanced civilizations naturally evolved toward peace. These humans challenged that belief. He made a decision then. He would assign their best observer to study these humans up close, someone who could understand their military mindset. Only then would the Brill be ready for what might come. What Mav didn't realize was that the Brill's understanding of warfare was about to be completely redefined. Len checked the cloaking system for the 5th time. The small observation vessel Whisper hung silently in space, completely invisible to standard scanners. As a junior tactical officer, this was his first solo mission, and possibly the most important assignment any Brill had been given in centuries. System check complete. All functions normal, he said to himself, a habit from training. Cloaking field at full strength. His orders from Admiral Mav were clear. Observe human military capabilities without being detected. The fate of future Brill-human relations might depend on what he learned. For 2 weeks, Len had tracked human vessels moving through this border region of their territory. Most were simple transport ships or mining vessels. Nothing that revealed the military potential Mav was so concerned about. But today was different. His long-range sensors had detected a large human warship moving toward the edge of their claimed space. The ship's designation, according to intercepted communications, was *Thunderchild*. Len adjusted the *Whispers* position, making sure to stay well outside the detection range they had estimated for human sensors. The *Thunderchild* was impressive, much larger than the vessel that had encountered the *Harmony*. Its hull was dark gray with minimal markings, and its shape suggested it was built for both speed and power. Why would they send such a large warship to patrol an empty border? Len wondered aloud. His answer came sooner than expected. The sensors pinged with new contacts. 3 ships entering the area from the opposite direction. Len recognized their design immediately and felt his blood run cold. Kren raiders. The Kren were vicious pirates who had harassed Brill colonies for generations. They attacked without warning, took what they wanted, and destroyed what remained. Brill defense forces could usually drive them off, but only after they had already caused damage. The humans don't know what they're facing, whispered Len. The Kren usually traveled in packs of 5 or 6 ships. 3 was unusual, but still dangerous for anyone unfamiliar with their tactics. He watched as the Kren vessels spread out in a classic encirclement pattern. They had likely detected the *Thunderchild* and saw it as a prize, a new ship to plunder, from a species whose defenses were unknown to them. Len should warn the humans, but that would reveal his position and violate his orders. All he could do was watch and record what happened next. The Kren ships accelerated suddenly, closing the distance to the *Thunderchild* with reckless speed. Len had seen this before. They would zip past, firing weapons to test defenses, then circle back for a coordinated attack. The human ship isn't changing course, Len noted with surprise. Don't they see the threat? The *Thunderchild* maintained its steady path, seemingly oblivious to the approaching raiders. Len felt a twinge of sadness. The humans were about to learn a harsh lesson about the dangers of deep space. The Kren ships were now close enough to fire. Bright energy beams lanced out from the lead vessel, striking the *Thunderchild's hull directly. Len's instruments showed no damage to the human ship, not even a fluctuation in its power readings. The Kren fired again, this time all 3 ships attacking at once. The *Thunderchild* absorbed these hits too, still making no move to evade or return fire. Why aren't they responding? Len muttered, confused by the human inaction. Then he noticed something odd. The *Thunderchild* had been gradually adjusting its position, almost imperceptibly. It wasn't fleeing or avoiding the attack. It was positioning itself. With sudden clarity, Len realized what was happening. The humans weren't ignoring the Kren. They were baiting them. As the Kren ships circled back for another pass, something changed in the Thunderchild's energy signature. Systems were powering up across the vessel, systems that had been dormant until now. Len watched in fascination as the human warship began to transform from prey to predator. What happened next would change everything he thought he knew about warfare. On the bridge of the Thunderchild*, Captain Reed sat calmly in his command chair. His crew worked quietly at their stations, no one showing signs of panic despite the enemy fire hitting their hull. "Shields holding at 98%, Captain," reported the defense officer. "The alien weapons are barely scratching our outer layer." Reed nodded. Continue passive scans. Let's see what else they've got. The Thunderchild had been designed for exactly this kind of encounter. First contact with potentially hostile forces. Its hull could absorb significant damage while gathering data on enemy capabilities. "Sir, they're launching missiles," called out the sensor officer. "Now it gets interesting," said Reed. "Point defense systems online. Let's show them what we can do." From his hidden observation point, Len watched in awe as dozens of small ports opened along the Thunderchild's hull. Tiny flashes of light erupted from each one, creating a web of energy that intercepted every incoming Kren missile. Not a single projectile got within 50 meters of the human ship. "Impossible," whispered Len, checking his instruments again. The precision was beyond anything the Brill had achieved. Each defensive shot was perfectly calculated, using minimal energy for maximum effect. The Kren seemed equally surprised. Their ships broke formation, attempting new attack angles. One vessel moved to a position directly above the Thunderchild while the others approached from opposite sides. "Classic pincer movement," noted Len. It was a tactic that usually worked well against Brill defense ships, overwhelming their targeting systems. Captain Reed watched the enemy maneuver on his tactical display. They're coordinating better now. Time to disrupt their communication. He turned to his electronic warfare specialist. "Deploy the jammers." Suddenly, the Kren ships faltered in their approach. Their formation fell apart as each vessel seemed to lose track of the others. "Sir, their ships are attempting to re-establish communication using different frequencies," reported the EW officer. "Adapting our jamming now." Len's scanners picked up the wave of electronic interference emanating from the Thunderchild *. It was like nothing he had seen before, intelligent jamming that identified and blocked new communication attempts almost instantly. The Kren ships were now moving erratically, unable to coordinate. One turned to flee, apparently deciding the prize wasn't worth the risk. "Target their engines," ordered Reed. "Disable, don't destroy." The Thunderchild moved for the first time, executing a turn that seemed impossible for a vessel its size. Len gasped as the massive warship pivoted with the agility of a ship 1/10 its mass, bringing its main weapons to bear on the fleeing Kren vessel. A single beam of concentrated energy shot out, striking the Kren ship's engine section with surgical precision. The Raider didn't explode. It simply stopped, all power gone. The remaining two Kren ships launched a desperate attack, firing all weapons while charging directly at the Thunderchild. It was a suicide run, meant to cause as much damage as possible before they were destroyed. Captain Reed remained unfazed. "Kinetic barriers at full. Prepare main battery for wide dispersal." The front section of the Thunderchild opened like a blooming flower, revealing a massive energy weapon that Len's scanners couldn't even classify. The weapon charged for less than 2 seconds before firing. Not a beam, but an expanding pulse that engulfed both attacking ships. When the energy dissipated, the Kren vessels floated lifeless in space. Like the first ship, they weren't destroyed, just completely disabled. "All enemy vessels neutralized, Captain," reported the weapons officer. "0 casualties detected on any ship." Reed nodded with satisfaction. "Begin recovery operations. I want prisoners for questioning and their ships for study." From his hiding place, Len could barely breathe. The Thunderchild had just defeated 3 Kren raiders without destroying a single ship or killing a single crew member. The precision, the technology, the tactics, all were beyond anything the Brill had imagined possible. This wasn't just combat. This was warfare as an art form, executed with terrifying efficiency. And Len had recorded every second of it. Len's small ship Whisper raced through hyperspace, pushing its engines beyond recommended limits. Every moment counted now. The data he carried wasn't just important, it was civilization-changing. After witnessing the Thunderchild's battle with the Kren raiders, Len had remained hidden, observing as the human ship captured and secured all 3 enemy vessels. He watched in fascination as human teams in armored suits boarded the disabled ships, efficiently securing Kren crew members without a single casualty. The Whisper dropped out of hyperspace near the Brill homeworld, its cloaking systems still active. Len transmitted the special clearance code given to him by Admiral Mav. Minutes later, he was rushing through the corridors of military command headquarters. "He's waiting for you," said an aide, leading Len directly to Admiral Mav's private chamber. The full military council was assembled there, faces tense with anticipation. "Officer Len," Mav acknowledged. "Your message suggested urgent findings. Show us." Len connected his data crystal to the display system. The room darkened as a 3-dimensional image of the Thunderchild appeared, floating above the central table. "This is the human warship I observed," began Len. "Class: unknown, but appears to be a medium patrol vessel in their fleet, approximately twice the size of our largest defensive ship." He touched a control, and the recording began playing. The council members watched in silence as the battle unfolded. The Kren attack, the Thunderchild's point defense systems, the electronic warfare that crippled the raiders' coordination, and finally, the precise weapons that disabled all 3 ships without destroying them. When the recording ended, the room remained silent for several seconds. "Is this accurate?" asked General Pix finally, his voice barely audible. "No enhancement or speculation added." "None, sir," replied Len. "This is exactly what happened. I've included all sensor data for verification." Admiral Mav stood up slowly. "The delegation we were planning to send. Their ships would have been no match if something went wrong." "There's more, sir," said Len. "After analyzing the battle, I believe the Thunderchild was operating at less than 30% of its full capability. It was testing the Kren, learning their tactics while revealing as little as possible about its own systems." Another council member, a female named Jiz who rarely spoke, leaned forward. "Are you suggesting they knew they were being watched?" Len hesitated. "I cannot be certain. Their sensors are clearly more advanced than we estimated. It's possible they detected the Whisper despite our cloaking technology." This sent a new wave of unease through the council. "What's most concerning," continued Len, bringing up detailed scans of the Thunderchild is that their ship design philosophy is fundamentally different from ours. While our vessels are built for exploration and science, with defensive systems added when needed, human ships appear to be designed for combat from the beginning. He highlighted various sections of the human ship. These structural reinforcements, power distribution systems, redundant control networks, all are integrated into the basic design. Even the shape of the hull is optimized for weapon deployment and damage resistance. Admiral Mav studied the images carefully. "So even their peaceful ships are built with conflict in mind?" "Yes, sir," confirmed Len. "And based on the technology displayed by the Thunderchild I believe our current defensive doctrine is obsolete." The words hung in the air like a physical weight. For centuries, the Brill had believed that their technology, developed over thousands of years of peaceful exploration, would be superior to any young species they encountered. "We need to completely reassess our approach," said Matt finally. "The delegation cannot proceed as planned." General Pix, who had been the strongest advocate for treating humans as just another primitive species, now looked shaken. "These humans, they captured 3 Kren ships intact. Do you understand what that means? In all our history, we've never managed to capture even one." "And they did it without casualties," added Jiz. "That suggests not just superior technology, but a level of control and precision we've never achieved." Len brought up one final image, a close-up of the Thunderchild's main weapon system. Based on energy readings, this single weapon could disable our largest defensive vessel with one shot. And from what I observed of human communications during the battle, this isn't even their most powerful warship class. Admiral Mav turned to face the council. We need a new plan. One that recognizes the reality of human capabilities, and we need it quickly, before they expand further into our neighboring sectors. As the council began debating new approaches, Len stood quietly at the display. Something about the humans troubled yet fascinated him. They had the power to destroy the Kren ships completely but chose precision instead. They had the technology for devastating weapons, but used them with restraint. Perhaps, he thought, there was hope for understanding these strange, contradictory beings after all. 3 weeks passed before the Brill finally agreed on a new approach to the humans. The military council chambers, once dusty from disuse, now showed signs of constant occupation. Food containers stacked in corners, display screens permanently activated, and exhausted officials slumped in chairs designed to be uncomfortable. We've analyzed every second of Officer Len's recording, said Admiral Mav to the assembled council. Our conclusion is clear. We cannot approach humans from a position of strength because we do not have one. General Pix, once the most vocal opponent of caution, nodded in agreement. Our best option is complete transparency. No hidden agendas, no shows of force, no attempts to appear stronger than we are. Honesty as a strategy, mused Jizz. How novel for a military council. The plan they devised was simple but risky. Send an unmanned messenger craft into human territory, with clear, open communications broadcasting their peaceful intentions. If the humans responded positively, a proper diplomatic team would meet them in neutral space. 2 days later, Len stood beside Admiral Mav in the command center as they tracked the messenger craft's journey into human space. They've detected our probe, reported a communications officer. Human vessels are approaching it. They're scanning, but not powering weapons. Hours pass as the humans examined the Brill message craft. Finally, a response came. A simple text transmission in the universal mathematical language the Brill had included in their message. They've agreed to a meeting, announced Mav, relief evident in his voice. At the coordinates we suggested, in 6 days. The diplomatic team prepared frantically, with both Len and Captain Trell included for their first-hand experience with humans. The Brill's finest diplomat, a wise elder named Vor, would lead the mission. Their ship, the Peaceful Intention was the newest in the fleet but carried minimal defensive systems, a deliberate choice to show trust. As they approached the meeting point, an empty region of space between Brill and human territories, sensors detected a ship already waiting. It's the Thunderchild said Len, recognizing the vessel immediately. They sent the same ship that defeated the Kren, noted Trell nervously. Is that a threat? Vor shook her head. I think it's a message. They want us to know exactly who we're dealing with. No surprises, no hidden capabilities. The Peaceful Intention slowed to a stop at a respectful distance from the human warship. Up close, the Thunderchild looked even more impressive. Its dark hull bearing marks of previous battles, its weapon ports clearly visible but closed. We're receiving a transmission, announced a communications officer. Visual and audio. On the main screen appeared a human face. Captain Reed of the Thunderchild. His expression was neutral but not unfriendly. Greetings, representatives of the Brill. I am Captain Reed of the United Earth Navy vessel Thunderchild. We welcome your diplomatic initiative. Vor stepped forward. Captain Reed, I am Elder Vor, lead diplomat of the Brill Confederation. We seek peaceful relations between our peoples. Reed nodded. As do we. My government has authorized me to begin preliminary discussions. Would your delegation like to come aboard the Thunderchild, or would you prefer we meet on your vessel? The question surprised the Brill. They had expected to use neutral shuttles for the initial meeting, not to board each other's ships so quickly. We would be honored to visit your vessel, replied Vor after a brief consultation with her team. Though our biology may require certain atmospheric adjustments. Already prepared, said Reed with a slight smile. We've studied the data you sent and adjusted our docking bay accordingly. An hour later, the Brill delegation stepped onto the deck of the Thunderchild *. Len tried to hide his amazement as they were escorted through the ship. Everything he saw confirmed his earlier analysis. This vessel was built for war from the keel up, with efficiency and functionality prioritized over comfort or aesthetics. They entered a conference room where Captain Reed waited with several other humans. The room's viewports showed the vast emptiness of space, with the peaceful intention visible in the distance. Welcome aboard, said Reed, gesturing to prepared seats. Before we begin formal discussions, I thought you might appreciate some context. He activated a display showing an image of Earth. This is our homeworld. For thousands of years, our people fought each other in countless wars. It shaped everything about us, our technology, our psychology, even our biology. The Brill delegation listened intently as Reed continued. When we reached the stars, we carried that history with us. Not because we wanted more war, but because we had learned through bitter experience to always be prepared for it. Len noticed something in the human captain's eyes as he spoke, not pride or aggression, but a kind of weary wisdom. These humans didn't glorify their warlike past. They seemed almost burdened by it. We come in peace, said Reed, but we come prepared for war. That is who we are. We hope you can understand that, just as we hope to understand your ways. For the first time since encountering humans, Len felt something new. Not just fear or awe, but the possibility of genuine understanding. 3 days into the diplomatic talks, both sides had made surprising progress. The humans and Brill had established basic translation protocols and shared information about their respective territories, histories, and social structures. Now, Captain Reed was leading the Brill delegation on a tour of the Thunderchild *. This is our main engineering section, said Reed as they entered a vast chamber humming with energy. Massive power conduits glowed with contained plasma, while human technicians monitored systems at various stations. Len stared in fascination. Your power output is remarkable. We would need a ship 3 times this size to generate similar levels. Reed nodded. Necessity drove our engineering. When you fight wars among your own kind for centuries, you learn to make smaller, more efficient systems. Elder Vor, who had been quietly observing throughout the tour, finally asked the question that had been troubling the Brill. Captain Reed, your people clearly value peace now, yet you maintain these powerful weapons. How do you reconcile these opposing ideals? Reed led them to a quieter area before answering. Our philosophers call it the paradox of preparedness. We build these ships not because we want war, but because we fear it more than most species could understand. He gestured around them. Every human knows what we're capable of doing to each other. We've seen our worst. That's why we prepare so thoroughly, to make actual conflict as unlikely as possible. The Brill delegation exchanged glances, a new understanding dawning. You're saying, ventured Len, that humans build weapons to avoid using them. Precisely, said Reed. The Thunderchild * carries enough firepower to devastate a small planet. But our greatest success is never having to use that power at full capacity. As they continued the tour, Reed showed them the ship's medical facilities, much larger and more advanced than the Brill had expected on a warship. He explained how human combat philosophy emphasized minimizing casualties on all sides. The best victory, Reed told them, is the one where everyone comes home alive. Later that day, as the delegation returned to their quarters aboard the Thunderchild *, news arrived that changed everything. A Kren diplomatic vessel had appeared at the edge of the meeting zone, requesting to join the talks. Admiral Mav, who had remained aboard the peaceful intention *, was immediately contacted. The Kren want to talk. In all our history, They've never sought diplomatic contact. In the hastily arranged three-way conference, the reason became clear. The Kren representative, a battle-scarred veteran named Grix, spoke bluntly. "We witnessed what the human ship did to our raiders," Grix said, his translator converting his harsh language to standard communication protocols. "3 of our best ships captured intact. No other species has achieved this." The humans and Brill listened as Grix explained the Kren position. After learning about the Thunderchild's capabilities, the Kren leadership had conducted a thorough analysis and reached a startling conclusion. Continued raiding in regions where humans might respond was suicidal. "We seek terms," said Grix, clearly uncomfortable with the concept. "Borders, rules of engagement, things the Kren have never considered necessary before." Captain Reed maintained a neutral expression, though Len noticed a slight smile at the corner of his mouth. The United Earth government would certainly be open to establishing formal relations with the Kren Collective, provided certain conditions regarding civilian safety are met. As the three species began preliminary discussions, Elder Vor pulled Len aside. "Do you understand what's happening here? The humans have achieved through strength what we could never accomplish through centuries of attempted peacemaking." Len nodded. "They stopped Kren raids without a single death. Their power brought the Kren to the negotiating table, not out of fear, but out of respect." 1 week later, aboard the Thunderchild's main conference room, representatives from all three species gathered to sign preliminary agreements. The Brill would share their advanced scientific knowledge, particularly in medicine and sustainable energy. The humans would provide defensive technology and security guarantees for Brill colonies. Even the Kren had agreed to respect established trade routes in exchange for access to certain technologies and resources. After the signing, Captain Reed approached Len. "Officer Len, I understand you were the one who observed our encounter with the Kren raiders." Len's skin flushed a deeper blue in embarrassment. "Yes, I apologize for the secrecy." Reed laughed. "No need. We detected your ship within the first hour, but we understood why you were watching, and we respected your caution." He extended his hand in the human greeting gesture they had learned. "Your report probably saved lives by preventing misunderstandings." As Len accepted the handshake, he realized something profound about humans. Their capacity for violence was matched only by their capacity for understanding. They built warships that could destroy worlds, yet used that power to create peace. Perhaps that was the greatest lesson the Brill had learned. True peace wasn't just the absence of conflict. Sometimes, it required the strength to face conflict unflinching, and the wisdom to use that strength with restraint. As the Thunderchild escorted both Brill and Kren ships back toward their respective territories, a new era had begun. One where three very different species had found common ground, through the paradox of a warship that fought for peace.